Part of our summer culture is that we believe that we hear from God.
There's a step in which I learn that God talks to me. There's a whole nother step that says that God talks to you, and that I have the ability to accept that. And then, of course, John has the ability to speak it and share it.
Welcome back, Tempus Divum.
Tempus Divum. Today we have something that's very personal, I guess is a good way to put it. So I wouldn't call this teaching or anything like this. What you're going to see on stage is a young lady named Calli Luikart, and she's actually a friend of ours, and she is the middle daughter of another one of the boot camp members whose name is Glenn Luikart. It was October, so it was about a year ago, last month, where Calli was she was at college, and she was in a really, really bad car accident. And I'll let her tell her own story, but she was really badly hurt. I think anytime we see really bad things happen to good people, it makes us question the deepest things. There's a famous book that you might have heard of called When Bad Things Happen to Good People. And the rabbi who wrote it is on shows all the time, and it is almost always misquoted. What people usually think the book title is why do bad things happen to good people? And he always has to correct me. It's like, why isn't the question? Because it's the wrong question. It's what do you do with it? And I think actually one of the most obvious, most human, most normal things, and also one of the most difficult things, is how we deal with disappointment. How do we deal with the situation where something feels wrong, like this can't possibly be God's will? And in Calli's case, all of us wrestled with that. Yeah. The truth of the matter is, just like a couple of days before she was in the accident, Glenn had shared one of the most powerful sessions he's ever shared at boot camp. And this came right after that. And frankly, It felt like warfare. It felt like a retaliation. And boy, did we pray our guts out on this thing.
Still do.
And we still do. And yet she's still in a lot of pain. But I'll let her speak for herself. And what did you get out of this video?
So there's this piece of Calli's recovery that I think has surprised everybody. And that started from day one, when the word got out of her accident and her paralysis and the surgery after surgery. It just caught fire, the prayer.
Yeah.
And it went all over the world. I think there's at the last count, it was 60,000 people had looked at her care journal.
Caring Bridge, yeah.
Caring Bridge journal. And the stories just keep growing. And it's this thing of she hasn't been healed yet. And but people, they hear her story and they're drawn to it.
Yeah.
And so every time I share about this story, and I just did at a mom's group up at Sunset Presbyterian, I just have to talk about it, and people afterwards are like, "Oh, thank you for sharing about Calli."
Yeah.
And so there's something holy in this story, and it's not done yet, as Dan Allender would say, to be told.
Yeah.
So that's something that's grabbed me, and I think it surprises Calli when she hears what her story's doing.
Yeah.
So I just love it, and I can't stop sharing it. So this video that she was at a conference, right? That she spoke.
I think she was just at church on Sunday morning, but I'm not sure of that actually.
Okay.
Anyways, we'll let her speak for herself, and so give it away to Calli Luikart.